So yesterday we started with functions. So today we are going to continue with the same. So let me start with it. Let me create a new class. So first we are going to see with functions with return type. Create a new class. Functions return type. So first let me create a function. So for example, here I'll just print CISO program starts. CISO program ends. Let me type it. Two things. Okay. If I will just normally run it, it will print me just program starts and program ends. Because always by default main function will be executed. Got it? So that's why we are able to execute this. So now the next thing what we are going to do, we are going to actually what? Write a method. So how to write a method? Always a method starts with the return type. So void is one of a return type which cannot return any value. So void, I will just print the method name as method1. Then open and close parenthesis. Then close with actually what? A block. Okay. That is anything that actually what comes with actually what open open flower brace and closes it. It's a block here. Then here CISO method1. We're going to print it. Okay. Now, if I just normally run it, right click, run as Java application. Will this method one will be executed? Now it's a non-static method. Even if I make it as a static method, will it be executed? No, it will not be executed here. Only when I call this method, then only this methods will be executed for us. So how to call this methods over there? So simple, it's a static method. So what is my class name? Functions return type. Functions return type dot. Then what is my method name? It is method1. That's it. Functions return type dot method1. Now if I execute it, right click, run as Java application. Program starts, then method1. Okay. That is, I'm calling this method1. So goes to this method1, prints me method1. Then again returns here, then program ends. So here it's a void, so it is not mandatory for me to return the return statement here because return cannot return any value if it is void. Got it? So that's what here we are seeing. Understood? Anyone has any questions so far? Anyone has any questions so far on this? Can everyone ping me as yes if you are able to understand this part? Super. Good. So next we will see more on return types now. Okay. In case if it is an integer, now what should happen? Can anyone tell me? I'll ask. Hey, hi Jagdish. Can you tell me if it is integer, what I need to do now? If the return type is integer, what we need to do? Why it's throwing me an error?
Yeah, it's throwing an error.
Yeah.
For functions, I don't think.
Before it was void, that time actually what it was not throwing me any error. But once I make it as an integer as the return type, it's throwing me some error. If I mouse over to
add a return statement.
Super, correct. I can add a return statement. Otherwise, I need to change the return type to void. So now I need to add return statement. So return, then
create a object.
No. No, what is the return type here?
int.
Okay, so what type of values can be stored into the integer data type? Integer variable?
Any number.
Numbers. So I should pass a number here. Got it? See now,
Okay.
right click, run as Java application. So method one. Okay, so first program starts, then function return types of method one, it calls this method. Then method one will be printed,
Okay.
then returns 10. That 10 comes over here because that's what it's going to return to the place wherever it is called. Then after that program ends. But right now we are not capturing it. If I want to capture it, what I need to do? Integer a is equal to.
Okay.
So now what will happen? Right now, function returns of method one, it calls this method, then it returns me 10 here. That 10 comes over here. That will be stored under the integer a variable. Then
Okay.
finally program ends. Run as Java application. Okay. So now it's returning to this place. I'm not utilizing it. Now I will just try to print it. Ciso A. Right click, run as Java application. Is returning me 10.
Okay.
And then I'm printing it. Okay, good. Hey, good guys. Hey, good Jagdish. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
So next thing. So now we have seen actually what? How to return a value. Now next thing what we are going to do, if I make it as a string, what is the only change I need to do? Here I need to make it as a, to pass a string value. Then here, can anyone tell me why string value? What is that I need to do? Can anyone tell me? Hi Tony.
Change the. Okay.
Yeah.
Should change the int a to.
What I need to do?
You have to take out the integer int and replace with string.
That's it. Super. Because the return value actually what it is string. So it comes as a string. Then I need to capture it as a string variable. That's it. Understood? Anyone has any questions on this?
Murli?
Yes.
Okay, so here, if any program, like if you see, you call this program by function return type dot method. Okay.
Yes.
In that case, it will start executing the function, and it will first print out the thing given in the inside the function, and then it will return, right?
No, come again. Come again.
So what I'm saying is, if any function, if you are trying to execute it, so first it will operate the method given in that. Okay.
Correct.
The statement given in that, then it will return.
Correct.
So
Yes.
if you want to print the return, then we have to print a CISO, right? Actually,
It's like actually whenever we call this method, always first the method will be executed, then it returns the value. That value will come to the place wherever the call has happened. Then I can store it in a variable, or directly here itself also I can print it. However I want, I can utilize that one.
So if you do not mention anything in there, right? If you delete the string A,
Yes.
delete it, then
Yes.
where will the value will go?
That's all. It comes over there, but we are not utilizing it.
Okay.
The only thing is, it's like we are not utilizing it, but the value will be returned here for sure. If you want, we can utilize here. Otherwise, we don't utilize it.
Okay. If instead of this CISO system print CISO, if we do any mathematical function, then I don't think it will print anything unless until we assign it to some value and put it on CISO, right?
So here I can do another way. So here itself directly if I put CISO. So what I'm doing over there, the function return type dot method one is there, right? So that information I'm giving it under the system dot out dot println.
Okay. So in this case, the return value will be printed.
Correct. So this will call the method. and then it will return me the hello. That hello comes over here, then that will be printed.
So in case if we do not use any return, if we use only void,
Yes.
Then what will happen? Like let's see.
Good question. So instead of a string, see now actually what it has been printed that. So now if I make it as void, can I return any value here?
No.
No. So if there is nothing coming over here, can I print any information here?
No, I don't think so.
That's why it's throwing me error. Got it right?
Got
That
it.
answers the question?
Yeah. So return means like actually I'm getting confused within the return and the function, because if a function is executing any process or any method, and unless and until we do not try to print the return type, it won't go anywhere. Well, we cannot see it in console, right?
Yes, correct. Because if you want to utilize, we have to utilize it by printing or capturing it in a variable in the original function. If we are not going to capture anything, obviously it will not be returned. Sorry, obviously you cannot utilize those information.
Okay, that's it.
Got it right?
Yeah.
Any questions for anyone, guys, so far?
I have a question.
Yeah, yes, Tony.
I don't know why method one still coming out and then hello also come out. Is it necessary to have line number 6 in there?
Yeah, so it's like actually in real-time situation, okay, what will happen means, so right now it will be like this. So for example, integer, then here right now, I'm going to give 10 plus 20. Okay, I'll make it like this. Integer a is equal to 70. Okay, so here right now I need to actually do some mathematical calculation, then after that return me that value, because method why we call it has to perform some actions, correct? So that's why we will do some performance over do some actions over there, okay, perform some actions, then after that we will return that value. That will actually come and then print me here. Okay, so when you come to Selenium, so what we will do means, okay, so right now I will call one method and then check whether what is the text information of this is printed, okay, which is present in the page. So what is the text of it? Inbox. So that inbox, that I will be returning it over as a string. So that one I will be capturing it. Got it? So get a text of some information and then return me that from a method. So that one we will be utilizing it. So we will be comparing. So in our side export, we will have an Excel sheet or something where I will have inbox, thread, snooze, important, sent, drafts, categories, all those things. So I will confirm whether the expected is actually inbox. Actual also is inbox only present in this page. Like that comparison I will be doing in the real time. That gives you a clarity, Tony. Understand?
Yes.
Got it, right? So that's why actually we will be using it for the return, because method will perform some actions and then return me some value. Okay, so that value we will be utilizing it in the original program. Got it, guys? For everyone understood?
So Murli, another question.
Yes.
Do we have to add anything beside return? Can we write just return like that without any adding, without any value?
Yes. However you want, you can use it. It is not mandatory that we have to use like that. However you want, you can utilize it.
Okay, if we delete the a, return a, if you delete the a, only or just write return,
Yeah.
it will throw error.
Correct, because return type is integer, so mandatory need to return an integer value.
Okay, if we put a void in there,
correct. Void actually what can we return any value?
No, so we won't write return in there.
Yes, correct.
Okay, that's
Understood, right?
got it.
Anyone has any questions, guys? Okay, cool. So I will give a short break for you. So this is about return types. Next thing is actually what we will see about the arguments, functions with arguments. We will see. Okay, which is the easy one, not a tough one. Functions with arguments we will see now. Okay, I have a 5 minutes break. Then after that we will again continue. Okay, thank you. A 5 minutes break. Then we will again connect. Thank you. Yes. So we'll continue the session. So we understood actually what is the usage of the methods and then how to return a value from a method. Okay. So next thing actually what we are going to see, functions with arguments. Okay. So how to use it? That's what we're going to see. So here I'll have one method. So void method one. Okay, can I have another method as void method one with the same name? Is it possible? No. This becomes as a duplicate. Correct? Just a minute, guys. Yes, sorry for that. Okay, so we cannot have a method with the same name here. See, this becomes as a duplicate method. If I change this actually what to it integer, and then I'm going to return some value, return 10. Will that actually what solve the problem? No, still it's a duplicate method only. If I make it as a static, will that solve? No, still again it's a duplicate method. Okay, so how those things can be solved over there means, okay, we will be passing some arguments to my methods. Okay, see here, integer a. See, now the error is gone because once we pass an argument, this method will be treated as a different method, this will be treated as a different method. Okay, so based on arguments we can differentiate a method. Based on what type of argument, there are different things. So one, based on type of arguments. Okay, so I will have some more methods. So method one. So here integer argument method one. So this is no argument method one. I'll have one more method here. So this one I'll make it as double A. Double argument method one. This one integer A, comma double B. That is what I'm doing means based on the type of argument I can differentiate, or based on the number of arguments I can differentiate a method. Okay, I'll have one more method here. Here I'll give double, here I'll give integer. See, the first one is integer and the second one is double here. Here the first one is double, the second one is integer. So still actually what it will be differentiated as a different method. Integer double argument method. This one is double and integer argument method. So what is this actually, what is arguments, and then why we need all those things? So simple. In real-time situation, what we will be doing based on this means, okay, so right now I want to actually what just a minute guys. Okay, so I want to read some information from my Excel sheet. Sorry, for my application over here. Okay, so now I will just give an information as what element to be taken. So primary, social, promotions, update is there. So based on whatever it is there, I need to perform the action and then read the mail headers over there, like that. So I will pass the information as a string to this place. Okay. So for example, if I have a method here, I'll give it as string A. So if I want to call this method, what I will do, okay, so all are non-static methods. So I will just create an object, new functions with arguments. Got it? So how to actually call those methods over there? So I want to call this string method. So that means how I need to do? So simple, obj1 dot, then method 1. See, this is not accepting any argument. That is what is this one. Method 1 WA. That is what is this one. Integer string. So string is what actually what I need to use it. So it's accepting a string value. Here I need to pass primary. I will pass like this. Now what will happen right now? obj1.method1. This will go and call me this actually what? Method. So the string A will hold actually what? The value primary. Okay. So if I want to print that, less A I will give. Understood? So now if I want to call this, see, right click, run as Java application. This one I'll make it as a string. So that right click, run as Java application. See, string argument method 1, the value for A, whatever we are given, it is primary. That is what has been passed. So like that, I will pass my value to the method. Okay. I will pass my value to the method. And based on that, actually what the actions will be performed for me. Understood, guys? Anyone has any questions? How actually what to use arguments? So if I want to pass arguments, so we will be passing in the parentheses. So the method names can be same, okay, but it can be differed based on actually what the number of arguments or the type of arguments actually what we can differ a method. Okay, is it mandated that the method name should be same? No, it can be anything. Whatever we want, we can give. But even if we want, we can also give same method names also. Understood? Anyone has any questions so far on understanding the basics of actually what? How to use functions with arguments, how to write, and then how to utilize it.
Only.
Yes.
So if in that second void method string A,
Yes.
if we do not use the value of A, still it will perform the function, right? System out println.
Come again.
In that method 1 string A, in that when we call that the second one, yeah.
Yes.
So when we call the object dot method 1 primary, we gave the value A as a primary, right?
Primary, yes.
But if we do not use the value of A in that particular function, still it's gonna perform, right?
No. So here you're saying actually what? I'm not passing any argument, correct?
No. You are passing the argument, but if in that
You're not utilizing it, you see.
Yes.
Yes, because we are going to get some value from this place. If you are utilizing it, actually what? Well and good. If you are not utilizing it over there, means it's like you pass an argument, but even though you're not utilizing it, that's a one thing. But still it executes. See, here right now it came as primary, right? Now actually what? It does not comes because I'm not utilizing it. That's a one thing. Got it, right?
Got it.
But usually actually what? When we are actually what calling a method with arguments over there, we will utilize actually what the value inside that one, whatever we pass the argument in real time situation. But it is not mandatory also, you need to utilize it. It depends on actually what, how our need.
Got it.
Any questions for anyone on this? Can everyone ping me as yes if you're able to understand this so far? Can everyone ping me as yes if you're able to understand it so far? Cool. Okay. So we have done with actually what understanding about the functions with arguments over here. Okay. So, but still we have not seen how memory will be allocated for the execution of these methods with arguments and then methods with return type, all those things. Okay. So that part we will be seeing actually what by the next week. Okay, so because everything when we learn, when we understand with help of memory allocation, it's always well and clear. Okay, so that's what we will be learning actually what by the next week when execution happens, what happens in the backend. Okay, cool guys. So with this, I'll stop it for today. I'm going to give you some assignments over there related to functions because you all know about the variables. So functions level, I will give you an assignment. So simple assignment, that is, I will give you steps over there as what you need to write the program. Okay, so here you have to write a program, okay, which has one static method which is of void return type. That means you don't want to return any value. One non-static method which is of void return type, one static method which is of integer return type, one non-static method which is of double return type. Call those methods from the main function and capture the return values. Okay, so that's what. Then another one actually what? A program which is as a default method and then which accepts integer argument with return type void, accepts integer and double argument with return type double. That means accepts integer and double argument means what? So that was this one, integer and double argument. And then what is the return type there? It is double. So that means this should be double. Yes, yes.
What is the meaning of default method?
A default method means actually what? A method which does not have any argument. A good question. Hey, thank you. I did not say that one. Okay? Yes. Default method means a method which does not have any argument.
Any argument.
That is called as a default method. Got it?
Yeah.
So this one I need to do like this. Understood, right? So like this, I want everyone to do the assignment. These are the two programs. So whatever we have seen right now, I want you guys to do it by yourself. Got it? So the name of the method name also I have given here as sample. For this one, any name you can give. Okay. Good. Okay, guys. So with this, I'll stop it for today. Try to make sure you do this assignment to, this weekend so that you will be clear on actually what the functions and then the usage of it. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. So I'll be forwarding you actually what to everyone the payment information over there, so you guys can actually what the make the payment by this weekend over there. Okay. Okay. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. We'll again meet on next week. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye, guys.